Welcome. You're listening to Ask the Doulas, a podcast where we talk to experts from all over the country about topics related to pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and early parenting. Let's chat.
Hello. This is Kristin Revere with Ask the Doulas, and I am thrilled to chat with my new friend, Nina Spears. She is the founder and CEO of Baby Chick, a pregnancy and motherhood platform for helping modern moms feel more informed, supported, and prepared through pregnancy, birth, postpartum, and motherhood. Nina is a certified baby planner, birth doula, postpartum doula, childbirth educator, newborn care specialist, infant massage instructor, and perinatal nutrition expert with more than 15 years of experience supporting over 800 families in person, thousands virtually, and has attended 350 plus births. Nina is also the host of Chick Chat, the Baby Chick podcast, and the author of the new book, The Baby Chick Guide to Positive Pregnancy. Welcome, Nina.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Kristin. It is just a pleasure, a true joy to finally get to chat with you.
I'm excited about what's to come. And you, with your background in perinatal nutrition, I would love to focus our conversation today realistic nourishment during pregnancy and touch on postnatal recovery as well. So let's get into it. What are your first thoughts on preparation?
When it comes to nutrition, women are just so excited that they're pregnant. And either you are so sick and you cannot handle anything and you're feeling guilty that literally all you can keep down is some applesauce and crackers, or you are like, oh, I'm pregnant. Like, I'm going to just enjoy this time and eat. And I don't want to say that either of those are wrong. Like, you sometimes just have to get through and do what you got to do, because both of those can lead to a healthy pregnancy. But I do want to say that the whole idea that you're eating for two is definitely a myth. The whole eating for two is really doubling our nutrients. So, your body is doing an incredible amount of work, but what matters most isn't necessarily like eating more food. It's really just eating the foods that provide the protein, the healthy fats, the vitamins, minerals. Hydration is so important, and that both you and baby are getting what you need. So I'm constantly just telling moms that pregnancy is just less about eating for two and just more about nourishing for two. So that's, I think, a very different mindset that I just try to remind mamas. Instead of like, how much can I eat? Let's start asking like, how can I better support my body and my baby? So I think, again, it's not about being perfect. I think so many women also focus on what they can't eat. And I think we need to focus more on like what we can eat. It's all about addition rather than focusing on the subtraction.
Exactly. And pointing out hydration, especially coming into the summer months, is so important in pregnancy and the postnatal phase. And as you mentioned earlier, that's sort of that thought process of you can fulfill any craving, but oftentimes it could mean that you're deficient in particular minerals and vitamins. And so thinking about your overall health and preventative measures for some issues that can creep up later in pregnancy.
But postpartum, oh my gosh, I was way more ravenous postpartum than I was during pregnancy. How were you?
Absolutely, especially with pumping and breastfeeding.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was constantly hungry and snacking as I should have been and trying to focus on hydration.
Yes.
But in pregnancy, I had some nausea and did not have much of an appetite. I felt like I forced myself to get the nourishment that I needed and had the education to focus on being conscious about what my body needed, even with the nausea and discomfort.
As a doula, sleep is one of the topics I talk about most with both expecting and new parents. Many of my postpartum clients are surprised by how common postpartum night sweats can be, especially during the summer months. Creating a cool, comfortable sleep environment can make a real difference. That's one reason I've been loving my Cozy Earth bamboo sheet set. After a long day supporting families, there's nothing better than climbing into sheets that feel incredibly soft and stay cool throughout the night. They feel noticeably different from traditional cotton sheets. They're lightweight, breathable, and comfortable, even on those warm, humid Michigan nights. If you've been looking for a simple way to upgrade your sleep experience, I highly recommend checking them out. Plus, Cozy Earth stands behind everything they make with a 10-year warranty and 100 nights of hassle-free returns on bedding. Made from viscose from bamboo, breathable, soft, and built for summer. Head to cozyearth.com and use my code GoldCoast for an exclusive 20% off. That's code GoldCoast for an exclusive 20% off. And if you see a post-purchase survey, mention that you heard about Cozy Earth on the Ask the Doulas podcast.
I'm just reminding moms, like, we have to just do the best that we can and really try to eat small meals throughout the day so that we can kind of stay on top of it with our blood sugar. So then that way we're not dipping too low. And because sometimes especially the first thing in the morning, that's why people do call it morning sickness. But oh my goodness, that sickness can last all day long. It is not just the morning time. And making sure that rather, if we can, really pairing a protein with that carbohydrate whenever you are feeling some morning sickness, because that's going to really help you get through. And oh my goodness, yes, hydration. This, Kristin, like our blood volume doubles when we're pregnant. So hydration is so much more important than people realize. I think magnesium can really help with that as well, but hydration totally helps with your energy. It helps reduce experiencing early Braxton Hicks. So I'm definitely super big on the requirement right now with ACOG is between around 86 to 96 ounces of water a day. I'm more of the, if you can get a gallon or 100 ounces, or if you're in the liters, 2 to 3 liters of water a day, that is the goal. But really combining it with electrolytes, because we don't want just water going in and out. We really want to absorb as much of that water as possible into the cellular level. So making sure that we're having enough of those salts. So electrolytes are super important. And that's why I also am just such a big fan of coconut water, because that has those natural electrolytes, and broths. Like bone broth is amazing. So yeah. And I just think that many pregnancy symptoms just get worse when moms are underhydrated.
Right. And then with electrolytes, they're not the same. I talk to my birth doula clients and my students in childbirth education classes about the differences. So there are all of these, there's Gatorade and Powerade. But yes, there are healthy alternatives. If you don't tend to love coconut water, there are some other options. What would you suggest with your background?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kneaded is one of my favorites that I recommend to my clients all the time. So that's kind of my go-to one, because they also have just a really great prenatal line. So I do like Kneaded. Also, Parallel has a good electrolyte drink as well. But those are usually the Kneaded is the one that I refer to the most, because you're right. Not everyone likes the coconut water. And also, yes, I'm so glad that you brought up the Gatorades and Powerades. I'm one, all of those synthetic dyes are not good for you, and the extra sugars are not that great for you either. So I know that it's advertised oh, these athletes are drinking all of this. And I'd rather focus on cleaner nutrition for you and your baby. And so removing those synthetic dyes and tons of sugars is definitely something that we want to be mindful of. And so, yeah, finding a cleaner electrolyte is my go-to. Do you have a favorite, Kristin? I'm curious.
So I tend to, again, go with the natural options and packets. So your recommendations are right on.
I love it.
I don't have a favorite, but I do talk about, researching brands and looking what will work, what's easy. I talk about, we have some health food stores that are excellent with picking out whether it's a whole food prenatal or electrolytes that are healthy and specific to everyone's needs. So I tend to just send them to our local stores and have the experts work there. So yeah, nourishment is key. And some of our listeners work in the birth and baby field, and others are preconception. And there's so much conversation lately, which I love, focused on how to nourish your body in order to begin the pregnancy planning journey. Do you ever work with clients pre-conception, Nina?
I have on occasion. Most people come to me once they are pregnant because now they're like, oh no, now for real, I need to be on my best behavior. But I have worked with a couple of people who are like, I am on this health journey and I really want to have a baby. And I love that because you should be taking a good quality prenatal vitamin before you're pregnant. And if we're encouraging women to take prenatals before they're pregnant, because folic acid or folate is so critically important along with other nutrients, I'm so glad that there are women that are like, you know what, actually, I want to make these choices and changes to my lifestyle now so that I'm not essentially trying to play catch up and learn all of this when I'm pregnant, because there's so much that you have to learn when you're pregnant.
As summer winds down, our house starts shifting into back to school mode. My son is getting ready for football season, so we've been checking off all the back to school essentials like cleats and new helmet and all of the athletic gear. But one thing that I don't want to overlook is the importance of his sleep, not only as an athlete, but as a student. Between early mornings, practices, homework, and everything else that comes with a new school year, having a comfortable place to recharge is so important. I decided to refresh my son's room with Cozy Earth bedding, including their bamboo sheet set and bamboo comforter. And I'm honestly impressed. Everything is made from viscose from bamboo, so it's incredibly soft and helps regulate temperature. Even during these warm summer nights, it stays cool and comfortable. And I know it'll be just as cozy when the weather starts cooling down. As a doula, I spend my days talking with families about the importance of sleep. We often think about sleep for babies, but quality rest matters for older kids and parents too. Creating a bedroom that feels calm and inviting is one simple way to support better sleep for the whole family, especially during a season that's full of new routines and busy schedules. And Cozy Earth stands behind everything they make. Their bedding comes with a 10-year warranty and a 100-night sleep trial. If it's not the best sleep of your life, you can send it back. Everything else is getting back on track. Your sleep should too. Head to cozyearth.com and use my code GoldCoast for an exclusive 20% off. That's code GoldCoast for an exclusive 20% off. And if you see a post-purchase survey, mention that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on the Ask the Doulas podcast.
In my first pregnancy, I developed preeclampsia. My daughter was in the NICU, had feeding struggles. So all of my type A planning with taking a childbirth class, prenatal yoga, focusing on a healthy diet and mindfulness sort of went out the window. But the second time around, I focused more on trying to avoid preeclampsia. Yeah, as a planner, I began to understand more options in my community. I met doulas through breastfeeding advocacy, hired doulas. They were the first call I made when I was pregnant.
Aww.
And then they led me to a naturopath and a dietitian. And I wanted to make sure I wasn't depleted in minerals, especially because I was breastfeeding, and focused on my overall nutrition and health, and tried to increase my energy with, having an infant too. My kids are 21 months apart. So chasing a young toddler around and not having that energy, I wanted to bring the energy up. And so I worked with experts to be able to try to prevent. And I was successful in preventing preeclampsia. And I think a lot of it was nourishment. And and trying to reduce the anxiety of what might come, a surgical birth, for example, or NICU stay again.
Food is medicine. Like it can either be poison or it can be medicine.
Yeah, I again credit building that team
Yeah.
and investing in my not only pregnancy and birth journey, but that postnatal time. And as important as nutrition and nourishment is in pregnancy, it's
Mhm.
equally as important in the postnatal phase.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. If not more sometimes, because it
yeah,
really can affect not only just your breastfeeding journey, but your recovery, your mental health. It's all intertwined with nourishment and rest and hydration, all of that.
exactly. And so I'm a huge fan of a lot of the traditional models of care, healing foods, warming foods.
Yes.
And yes, I had done some trainings on Malaysian cultural traditions and did a Zulu training. And so those cultural components of warming foods and
Yes.
the community and family taking care of women in that postnatal phase, not only with nourishment, but also some of the help they give in a way that is very much like a postpartum doula would
Yeah.
in the recovery and newborn care process.
Absolutely. I know. It's so beautiful to learn about all these others' culture and their traditions, especially when it comes to supporting the mother postpartum, because, oh my gosh, I mean, I feel like we have it backwards here. It's like all about like, get back to as small as you possibly can. Don't look like you had a baby. Get back to work. Essentially erase that you were pregnant and had a child. And now that you're a mom, like it's just so backwards. But I do think that we're making strides and people are recognizing that we need to take care of mothers. Like if we have healthier mothers, we will have healthier babies, healthier homes, and that means healthier communities and a healthier world. I really think that everything starts with the mother. And if we can just give them the support that they need from pregnancy and beyond, like, oh my gosh, what a different world we live in.
What are your top tips for favorite easy to snack on foods? You had mentioned bone broth. That's great in pregnancy, but also in the postnatal time and other
Oh,
warming
yeah.
soups.
During pregnancy, I think women are definitely under eating protein because I'm like, we need to be eating about, if you, let's say, you need to be eating a gram for every pound that you weigh. And I know that some women are like 200 pounds. Okay, maybe it's not necessarily that. Maybe it's zero point 0.7. Again, I would talk to someone that can really work with you and understand exactly like your needs and goals for, a healthy pregnancy. The thing that I constantly see is that women are definitely under eating protein during pregnancy. So, and that's just to explain like why this is so important. It really is the building block for your baby's growth. Protein is essential. It also is good for your maternal tissue growth. It's good for blood volume expansion and satiety and like stable energy. There's so many reasons why protein is important. And I know that a lot of people are talking more about protein, which is great because we have been under eating it for a very long time. So a lot of my things that I'm telling my clients to eat, even for snacks like hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, making like a parfait, having some cottage cheese, protein smoothies. Like there are some things that you can do to get your protein in rather than just eating like your chicken and beef and salmon and all that kind of stuff. But then also like we need some healthy fats. We need some good carbohydrates. So I'm constantly adding in lots of greens, some avocado, which is so good, seeds and nuts. Oh my gosh, for those healthy fats. So a good trail mix. Like I have tons of lists, but again, I think my biggest thing is like first focus on your protein. Like then add everything else to it. So if we start with what is the thing that contains protein, then you can add extras. You're good from there. And then also just recognizing that not like all forms of protein are the same. Like, yes, I love peanut butter. but there is also a lot of fat with that. So maybe not having so much peanut butter, like having that maybe in the morning with like some toast. If you're like, oh, I'm not feeling so great, that's where I'm like, oh, great. If you're having some morning sickness, rather than just having crackers, add like some peanut butter to it. So then that way you have like a healthy fat with also some protein with that carbohydrate. So there are some great easy ways that you can do these things that are so much more manageable than I think people realize. I think that we just need to keep our eyes open for like, all right, what is something else that I can substitute this prepackaged whatnot into a more whole food item, you know?
Hey, Alyssa here. I'm just popping in to tell you about our course called Becoming. Becoming a Mother is your guide to a confident pregnancy and birth, all in a convenient 6-week online program. From birth plans to sleep training and everything in between, you'll gain the confidence and skills you need for a smooth transition to motherhood. Live coaching calls with me and Kristin, tons of expert videos including chiropractic care, pelvic floor physical therapy, mental health experts, breastfeeding, and so much more. You'll also get a private Facebook community with other mothers going through this at the same time as you to offer support and encouragement when you need it most. If you'd like to learn more about the course, you can email us at info@goldcoastdoulas.com or check it out at thebecomingcourse.com. We would love to see you there. We also have a book called Supported, Your Guide to Birth and Baby, which makes a beautiful companion to this course. It's a great book for any expecting mother and is the perfect baby shower gift. You can find information on that book at supportedbook.com.
And I love that you include a lot of this information in your book. It's so helpful. And with your background being so comprehensive in the pregnancy, postpartum, perinatal journey, you have so much to offer. So I'm excited to read your book.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Again, being able to connect with amazing women like yourself and all the other women who are writing these books and sharing their knowledge, it's just so amazing to be able to share this knowledge with this next generation of mothers. And it makes me excited because I can't wait for my daughter she's only 5, but when she gets to the age, she's just going to be surrounded by so many empowering women and their words of wisdom. And I just feel like we're on the right track for supporting moms in a better way than we have in generations past.
Exactly. I agree. So Nina, tell us a bit more about your book, The Baby Chick Guide to Positive Pregnancy.
My book is launching June 30th, 2026, a doula and a baby planner in book form. Not everybody can hire a doula, or not everybody can hire a baby planner. And I just wish that the people who can't hire me still had the step-by-step basically roadmap of what I talk to my clients about. So then that way they understand what's available to them throughout their journey as well. Because I think that you only know what you know. And if you don't start really doing some research, and I also say like, be careful on the internet, you never know what type of information that you're getting, if it's factual, if it's evidence-based, if it comes from professional experience. Partner tips for each week, because I'm really big on pregnancy shouldn't just be carried by the mother. It needs to be, this is a partnership. And so I make sure that each week partners are given like a tip or something to do. So then that way mamas aren't carrying this alone. And also, like we're talking about, there's nutrition in there, there's movements. I also link it to my app so people can watch the videos of how to do each movement. There's meditations. So it's really just a holistic guide of having a more positive pregnancy, because once we have more positive pregnancies, we can have more positive births, more positive postpartums, and just, again, a more positive world.
Exactly. I believe it all starts there. It's such important work. And so your book will be available in bookstores, online. Tell us how we can find
my site, baby-chick.com. It's on Amazon, Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and we have some amazing pre-order bonuses. I can't wait for you guys to check it out.
Amazing. So any final tips for our listeners around realistic nourishment during pregnancy and the postnatal phase?
Sure. Yes. I think I want women to remember that nutrition is not another way to judge themselves. It's a way to support yourselves. Like food is support. And pregnancy asks a lot of your body, and postpartum asks a ton from your body too. And nourishment isn't about chasing this perfect diet. It really isn't about that. It's about giving your body just the tools it needs to do something incredible, because it already is. And you're going to feel so much better when we give it the proper nourishment. You're going to realize, wow, I have more energy. You're doing the best that you can. And that is absolutely more than enough. You're doing great. Just focus on addition rather than the subtraction. Focus on the nutrients rather than calories. You got this, mama.
Exactly. I love it. So you mentioned how our listeners and doula clients can find your book. How can we find your business? Not only, you mentioned your website earlier, but on all of the social media channels.
I am most known on Instagram, so you can find me at The Baby Chick. But I'm also on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, all the places. You know how it goes, Kristin.
Yes.
And then, like you said, my podcast as well, Chick Chat, The Baby Chick podcast. So, and you can find all of these easily by going to my website, because we have links to all of those as well.
Amazing. Well, we will have to have another conversation, but congrats again on your new book. And I can't wait to read it and review it.
Thank you so much, Kristin. And I cannot wait to have you on my podcast and chat and pick your brain. But I'm just so grateful to have had the opportunity to chat with you guys. And just thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for sharing all of your wisdom, and we will talk soon.
Thanks for listening to Ask the Doulas. For more information about Gold Coast Doulas, visit us on our website, goldcoastdoulas.com. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If you like this podcast, please subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Thank you. Remember, these moments are golden.